So Elon Musk wants to slash government spending. No more wasteful budgets, no more bloated departments. Wow, this all sounds great, right? But let's stop for a second and ask the one big question. Who actually wins when the government starts spending less? Because if history has taught us anything, it's that budget cuts don't just make money disappear, they move money. And when that money moves, you better believe it's not landing in your pocket. So today, we're following the money to expose who really benefits when Musk pushes for those government cost cuttings. So buckle up because this might make you rethink absolutely everything. Let's follow the money. Who wins from government budget cuts? Great question. So let's break this down into four major players, four groups who are cashing in big time whenever the government tightens its belt. And here's a spoiler alert you're not on the list. So, big corporations will get richer while public services shrink. Here's the thing. When the government stops funding something, that doesn't mean the problem disappears. It just means the private sector will step in and charge you for it. So, take public transportation, for example. If the government cuts funding for buses, trains, and infrastructure, well, that doesn't mean fewer people need to get to work. It just means Uber and Lyft now get to charge you 2 to 3 times more. Same thing with healthcare. Cut Medicaid, well, now private insurance companies take over and they'll jack up your premiums. Cut funding to public universities, tuition skyrockets. Cut disaster relief, private insurers start charging outrageous rates. So who wins? Well, corporations like Uber, United Health, and the for profit universities. Who loses? You, the everyday person who now has to pay more for basic services. On to number two. Billionaires pay less in taxes while you pay more. Now, here's the real scam. When government spending gets cut, taxes don't just disappear. Instead, the tax burden shifts away from billionaires and onto regular working people like you and I. Right now, billionaires and massive corporations use loopholes to avoid paying taxes. But the government still needs money to function, right? So when tax cuts happen at the top, states and local government raise taxes on you instead. What that means is higher property taxes, higher sales taxes, high utility fees, even road tolls go up. The rich get away with paying far less while you end up paying far more. Does that make sense? No, but it happens every time. So again, ask yourself who wins? Well, the answer is billionaires and corporations that dodge taxes. Who loses? You guessed it, you, because your tax bill actually goes up, not down. On to number three, the military. Well, the military, I guess, is number three. So industrial complex keeps its billions. Wait. If Musk is so serious about cutting wasteful government spending, well, shouldn't that include the $800 billion military budget? Shouldn't we be cutting unnecessary wars, overpriced weapons, and those wasteful defense contracts? Yeah, it's not going to happen. The military slash industrial complex, the companies that supply weapons, tanks, and fighter jets, well, they won't see their funding cut. But meanwhile, essential programs do get cut, like education funding, infrastructure, affordable housing, emergency disaster relief. So, defense contractors like Lockheed Martin and Boeing, well, they keep raking in the billions while your community roads crumble and teachers strike for better wages. So, again, who wins from that? Well, the military. Who loses? You guessed it. the middle and working class who get fewer public services. On to number 4. If the IRS shrinks, who gets away with not paying taxes? Well, Musk has hinted at shrinking or even eliminating the IRS. Sounds like a dream, right? No more audits, no more tax headaches, but here's the reality check. The only people who benefit from a weak IRS are the ultra rich, while regular folks like you and me, well, we get taxed automatically from our paychecks. But the rich, well, they've got accountants, offshore accounts, and loopholes to hide their money. If the IRS is weak, who gets away with paying nothing? Well, I'll tell you, hedge funds, big oil companies, and mega corporations. Meanwhile, your paycheck still gets taxed automatically. That's why budget cuts to the IRS doesn't mean tax relief for you, they mean tax relief for the billionaires. So again, ask yourself who wins? Well, the winner here is the ultra rich who get to dodge their taxes. Who loses? You guessed it, you. Middle class taxpayers who still foot the bill. Who loses? Spoiler alert, it's not the rich. So let's recap. Who actually benefits when Musk slashes government spending? Billionaires pay fewer taxes, big corporations take over services and charge you more, defense contractors get to keep their billions, and the ultra rich avoid tax audits. Meanwhile, you end up paying more for basic needs, facing higher local and sales taxes, get fewer public benefits, lose government oversight that protects you from corporate greed. So, the next time someone tells you that budget cuts are good for the economy, ask them who is actually benefiting, because I guarantee it's not you. So here's my final thoughts. Look, I'm not saying all government spending is good, but let's be real. When billionaires and corporate elites push for budget cuts, it's not because they want to help you save money. It's because they want to pay even less and make even more. So what do you think? Do budgets do budget cuts actually help the economy, or do they just shift the burden to the middle class? Drop a comment below and let's talk. Oh, and if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share, because people really do need to hear this, especially the sharing. Have a great day, guys, and hopefully this has given you food for thought.